Here in the United Kingdom, we are cited as a nation of pet lovers, but I believe that is around the world. That's truly, I genuinely believe that, because all thanks to the wonderful people that watch this channel here, our friendship group. Whenever we do a story about a dog or a cat or one of our chums' pet, everybody wants to say hello, a wave and all that sort of stuff. And it just proves how important animals are to us all. They become chums, don't they? They're friends. They know your ins and outs, they know your movements, and more importantly, you know theirs. You've got to be careful in case you jump up too quickly and they think it's time for walkies when you want another sit down. Am I right? Oh yes. But what's interesting here is that when you think about it, certain individuals can make something their own. And this is now what's truly happened for a major television programme over here in the United Kingdom. For the Love of Dogs, of course, was hosted by none other than the brilliant late comedian and presenter, raconteur supreme, good friend of mine, Paul O'Grady, and also a great friend of the Queen Camilla. But it's interesting to note that the revamp is now really looking towards a royal once again, as ever. Let me explain. Morning, lovely to see you today. Thank you so much as ever for your time. You all right? This is a very glitzy area here, isn't it? Very, very wealthy. Yeah, I've just looked at the prices of the coffee. I'll need to sit down, do you know what I mean? Always bring my flask. Met a lovely lady the other day in Victoria Park by Parliament who was over here, I think, for 16 or 18 days. And she couldn't believe it, when she said, "You really do have a flask?" Yes, I do. I'd get it out now, but I can't, I've only got one hand, you know what I mean? Well, not literally, figuratively, you know what I'm saying. But you can't, anyway, don't put it down, somebody will snaffle it, won't they? Now, let's get back to your story of the day. This is interesting to me because less than a month in, the revamped programme for the Love of Dogs, which, as I say, was beautifully presented for so many years by the wonderful comedian Paul O'Grady. Well, they had a revamp and gave it to Alison Hammond. Now, the big problem I felt with this was that Alison, nice enough girl that she is on everything. There's overload really, and even she must know that there's a finite time to how many things you can do. The Great British Bake Off this morning, voiceovers for banks, popping up on online ads. I realise you've got to make your money and I get all of that, but actually you can turn the public off against you. Now that seems to be the case, of course, for this new series, seemingly because Alison, again, doesn't have any pets herself. And I think it's really obvious that she doesn't really have the empathy and the warmth that came from Paul, who was an absolute, animal lover, had so many animals living with him at his farm and stuff like that. You could see he really loved it. Bit of a problem because now Battersea, the Dogs Home and Cats Home that make the programme alongside ITV Commercial, well, they've been warned that it might not be coming back, and that is, of course, as ever, allegedly. Now, there's sort of a big talks going on behind the scenes. They're hoping that the audiences will pick up, but normally by the middle of the run at this point, they would decide about commissioning another series. Now, one of the ideas that they're still batting around, and I think this is a great idea, is to have one of the presenters be none other than the Princess of Wales, Catherine's brother, James Middleton. A dog lover, has his own brand of dog food, and you can just tell that he absolutely adores being around the animals. He's just good with them, and they like him. Now, he's popped up on TV on a number of occasions, warm, empathetic, and got a good, fun personality. I've been told that the production company are, shall we say, tentatively sounding him out. I think if anybody truly can save the programme, it would be him. I don't mean solo, I think he will need some support, but I think him on a panel, say, of 2 or 3, really interacting with all the wonderful staff that do so much down there at Battersea and all of those wonderful animal sanctuaries, well, that could truly save the programme. And that will be the one thing that the brilliant and late Paul O'Grady, good friend of Queen Camilla, would truly like, to see their plight being highlighted every week across the nation, and hopefully pairing those wonderful animals up with the equally wonderful humans that go on to look after them. James, we're counting on you. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.